Well, good morning. Good morning. How are y'all? It's Thursday. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and say hashtag replay or tell me where you're tuning in from. Are you West Coast? Are you East Coast? Tell me all the things. All right, let's dive into it. Without further ado, I don't remember which morning I was in my quiet time, but this passage knocked me flat on my face. Flat on my face. So I'm going to read it to you. It is Psalm 74. It is out of the Passion Translation. And let's just dive in. Good morning, Diana. With your glory, you opened up springs and fountains. Then you spoke, and the ever-flowing springs of Jordan dried up so we could cross over. You own the day and the night. Sunlight and starlight call you creator. The four corners of the earth were formed by your hands, and every changing season owes its beauty to you. Now, this could say a lot of things. But listen to this. I don't know where you find yourself. I don't know in what season you find yourself. I don't know what brick wall you feel like you are coming up against. I don't know what you need to turn on a dime that you're literally saying, make a way where only you can make a way. Connect the dots where only you can connect the dots. Make eyes open where eyes need to be opened and blind the enemy so that your will can move forward. I mean, listen to this. With your glory, you opened up springs and fountains. What do you need him to open up for you? What are you relying on him to make happen for you? I mean, think about it, friends. There comes a time in your life, and I don't know if it happens with age or what, but I feel like every day is like, you know what, God? Like, if you don't show up in this, I got nothing. I can try and spin and do and be and all the things. And listen, I am queen of strategy. He has made my brain to straight up strategize, okay? But if he does not open up, if he does not make a way, if he does not do what only he can do, it will not happen. And yet, here's where you rest. Here's where you bring the word back to the one who literally spoke it into being. With your glory, you opened up springs and fountains. Friends, do you remember a couple weeks ago where I said ease is your portion? Because when you walk and partner with the glory, all right, springs and fountains just open up. They just open up. And then you sit there undone because you recognize it was nothing that you did. It was just the fact that you yielded and you let him be God. Like, I have become so aware of my dust nature in just like the past weeks. Like, I'm just like, I'm mere dust. Like, if there is anything in me that is impressing you, I promise you, it is not Amber Nordstrom. It is the God of glory, the King of the universe, who has filled me. He has wrapped his presence around me. He has met with me in the quiet place. He has walked with me. He has said yes to being partner with me, and he has made me a co-heir. Like, what? And with his glory, he opens up springs and fountains. But then get this. So that is provision. Okay, that is provision. But listen to this. Then you spoke, and the ever-flowing springs of the Jordan dried up so we can cross over. That's protection. You hear me? What do you need to dry up? Do you need just the talk and the slander to dry up? Do you need the persecution to dry up? Do you need the relationship that is abusive and not for your best to dry up? What do you need? Because just in this verse, y'all, this is just Psalm 74:15. We have spoke of his provision. We have spoke of his protection. And I kid you not, I just sat on my couch. I hope you have a spot where you meet with him. I have a corner of my couch. It has my hot drink next to me. It has my Bible on my knee, and it has what do you put your feet on? It's like an extension of the couch, where it has all my books. It has all my resources, anything I need, and it's right there. Everything is reachable. The only reason I need to get up is if I need a refill of my hot drink or I need the bathroom. I don't need anything else. And listen to this. Psalm 74:15. I haven't even dove into the next portion that I read. Now my Wi-Fi is trying to reconnect. Good night. Help me, Jesus. Here we go. With your glory, you opened up. See, provision can come like that. See, when his glory comes, the atmosphere shifts in a moment. So are you in need of provision or protection? Because he's got both for you. And he can make it happen in a moment. Because you know what? Verse 16, he owns the day and the night. See, he can make it shine or he can make it dark. Sunlight and starlight call you creator. Do you need the warmth of the sun? Do you need the exposure of the sun? Or do you need a tiny little twinkle of magnificent starlight that you just look at the vastness of the sky? You look at the vastness of what is above you, beyond you, and you stand in awe of the one who speaks, and it is. His glory, listen, his glory opens up springs and fountains. Do you know what that is? That's motion. Springs and fountains are motion. They are movement. They are bursts. Springs and fountains, they are flowing. They do not stop. They are flowing. They are bursts. And then yet, look at this. He can dry it up in a moment. Dry it up in a moment. He spoke and the ever-flowing springs. Ever-flowing means it doesn't stop. Oh, but it does when he speaks. Oh, but it does when he speaks. Which goes back to the fact of you just sit in your time with him. And you recognize that not only does he love you with a love that can never, ever be quenched, but he wants to be God because you're not. He wants to show up for you as loving, faithful Father God. And so as you sit there just soaking him in, recognizing who he is, praising him because of the goodness, he's so good. He's so good. And all you have to do is just be like, I'm not God and you are. And so can you spring forth where I need provision this day? Can you dry up and protect me from the things that look to plague me this day? Friends, he can do both in a moment. The four corners of the earth were formed by his hands. He spoke it and it was done. Do you hear me? It was done. His speaking may have a timing to it, but you just rest in the fact that he has your best interest in mind. And when he speaks, it is done. When he speaks, it is done. Yes, Diana just put in the comments, friends. Let me remind you, Luke 11:9, okay? Jesus is saying, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. But guess what? If you ain't asking, he can't get the glory for the giving. If you aren't seeking, he can't get the glory for the finding. If you aren't knocking, he can't get the glory for the opening. So the four corners of the earth were formed by his hands, and every changing season owes its beauty to him. I don't know about you, but I walked out of my house this morning to get into my car and take my kids to school. And it was a beautiful morning. The sun was shining. The morning was crisp, but you can tell it will be a beautiful day. The colors not only danced in the newness of spring that's about to spring, but in the sky. And I just thought, golly, your glory, your glory, your glory is all around. That was just Psalm 74, 15 through 17 in the Passion Translation. What are you sitting with him today and soaking in, meditating on, letting him wreck you in the best way? Because he will, because he's good, because he will take your turmoil and he will turn it into shalom, shalom, peace, nothing missing, nothing broken. He's got you. He's ready to show you prosperity and provision. He's ready to show you protection from the plagues that want to take you out. Oh my goodness. Will you just pause and surrender and recognize the dust of which you are and the God that he is?